Hello friends, in this video we will study about the text in Jetpack Compose. You can see in the emulator on my screen, it has different styles of Jetpack Compose. And I always create a project Jetpack Compose and the empties there I define methods, but it's nothing. So first part we will display the hello Android developers, and I need to define some text that will call the text, and then hello Android developer, and then I need to import this one, and after that we can see the text will display here. In the Android app, we usually use the text from the resources. So how do we get the text in the Jetpack Compose from the resources here? So we can define string from resources, and we define string and app name here. It will get the result from the Android app and display this. It helps us support different kind of languages. So let's jump into the text compose methods and see what the properties it can support here. We have the text first, parameters that we record. Other properties is just the optional because it had the default values here. If we want to define its values, it will customize some font style. So let's keep watching and we will see some different kinds of text on screen. You can see the text too from the resources on after building. The third one, I want to use different color. So here, example, I use the color directly here. So I use the color red, and I rebuild. It will update the text in color red. I just define here. Just wait a little bit. Yeah, it's red. Next one, we can customize the font style. So the font style, we can use that. How do we use that? Here. So we have the different fonts customized here. We can use the font style. We use italic. And while waiting the italic, we can use different customized properties there. It's a font weight, and now the text will be displayed italic here. The next one, we can use the font weight. And the font weight, we need to use the font weight too. Jetpack Compose support almost everything, so we want to display the fonts in bold font, in the light or medium. Is depending on what we want. We can display bold, and after that we can rebuild. The next ones, we will use another properties in the text compose, and we can use the text decoration. So text decoration will make the text will display with the underline or stretch through the text. So text decoration, and we can use underline or none or combined a lot of list there. So example, we can use the combine of both for line through and underline. Yeah, so here I just use the line through, and you will see, and just rebuild. Yeah, this will have the line through the text. We can see that. I will close this one for easy to see. I close my emulator too. It will more space on the screen for you guys. Next one, we can use text alignment. So to make the text alignment really easy is to see, we need to define some modifier to make sure it had the text bigger than our expectation. So example here, I define with the modifier on the screen. You can see I had a modifier here. It had the width 200 dB and background light gray, and then I had the text alignment. The default one, if we didn't define that property, so it will be align left, and now we just align center, text align center. And I need to import it, and import here, and use the Jetpack Compose, and I rebuild, import again. Now the text will align in the center. So in the text align, is had the text start, so align the text in the left of their container. Text align right will align the text on the right. If we didn't define this property, it will text will align on the left of the container. So, and it will align on the end. You can see I need to zoom. Yeah, it will pretty easy to observe here. So the next one, I will use the font family. So how do we handle that with the font family? I can keep the modifier, so we just replace here with the font family. And then we can use the default family here. We can monospace, or we can define some custom font families. Example here, I only use download some font from the fonts.google.com, and I just rename it, make sure it works in the Android Studio and in the Android app. So I define that font, and I can use the font family object in the Jetpack Compose. We can use in our app now. So the font family will get the list of fonts, so we can put how many fonts styles here we want. So I just import this one and just use from the Jetpack Compose, and it only import and it's ready to use. So we can use here if we just put the default here, Lato, and we can rebuild. It will display the Lato. Yeah. And now we can add more property here, font weight, and then we just use the light. We use font weight light, and then we can see that it's display the text in the light. I need to import. Yeah, I format this one, make sure it's really, yeah, it's text display in light. We already had font families, and how do we display the text in multiple styles? Yeah, and here I just reuse from the Jetpack Compose document from Android, so we can reuse that but different text and see how it look like or different color. Here we can use the building method as the build annotated string, and with some text with different style, and for that style we can define with the span style, and then we put a lot of color, put color and different properties here. It have font weight, it's some kind some properties like in the text, so can define here and the same. So now we need to put this one in our method to see how it look like. I just comment this and just use the method I already defined, and here it will work. Yeah, this one just build. Yeah, we can see that I don't like this one. Yeah, it look better. Yes, we can see the text display in different styles. And the next one, how do we select this text in the Jetpack Compose? So it has one the composable method that's called the selection container. So we can put directly here, and that will display just one single element here. So it's just one the composer here, and we just selection container, and it has the modifiers, context change. It has some method there, but you can handle that too. Yeah. So we had the selection container. We can see how it look like. Just rebuild emulator. Just wait a little bit. After, in the build project, some part of the text we can display is in the selection part, and part selection display selection. So we can handle that is some different scenario that's like this. From the developer Android, we can see that. Just I just select it. Yeah, finally I can select this text. It's so hard to control in the emulator. Sorry about that. The next one, I will demonstrate how do we use the selection and some part doesn't select, that means it's disable. I review the code from the developers Android for Jetpack Compose Text. Here in the selection container, it has one single child, and in the column we have a lot of text, and we have disable part here, so we can see how it looks like, and we can see this part can be selected, and this part won't be able even we select from the top to bottom task information. I need to close this. Now it just rebuild, and then we can see this text. And while waiting, in case you want to define the whole text disable and some parts in the middle can be selected, and how do we handle that? I hope we can select it. For the review, it looks like it doesn't work. Yeah, in this method it's different. On screen will be disabled, and just this part will be selected, so we can remove this one, I believe, and I can boot this one. Yes, and now this one I can select the text. No, yeah, oh no. Yes, this one for we can select the top, bottom, but the middle we can't select because that method is just define disable these selections. And let's view again for all the parts of selection, and the whole screen will be visible, but the middle will be selected. Yeah, you can see some part is selected and some part it won't be able to select it. Just view and close this to make it faster. I hope so. You guys can see I just building, and now we can't select from start to end, but we can select from here. You see that I try to select the bottom, but it doesn't work. Yeah, the next one, how do we display selection? How we do display some clickable text? So in the Jetpack Compose, it has display the symbol clickable text, and how this work. It can give clickable text here, and clickable text it has some modifier and some wrap, overflows, something like that. So we can use that and see. You can see that one need to rebuild because this one will clickable and it will print the text to the log. So here I need to open the log pad and just select the email layer. I need to clear this. Just wait a little bit, it will solve for us. Oh no, still missing. Yeah, now I click here, you will see that we can see clickable text, and with the offset we click. Next one, how do we handle click for some specific text in the Jetpack Compose? In the Jetpack Compose, we can display we can jump into that method and analyze it. and then it's the error. I need to import this one. Here we need to add an annotated text, and it will use the field annotated text string. Here we append the click and we push strings with annotation. So that means the string does the URL and the annotation does the address we want to annotate. In your case, if you want to push start the email or the font, and when you click on that, you need to handle. For that example, here we have the with styles, and with style for this annotation, I define in Spain style here, and it had a color blue, and it has font weight, it has technical duration, and I put the technical duration underlined, and I append the text here. That's underlined as will be the text that the URLs will help us to recognize when we see that. So in annotation, and we use the clickable and put the annotated text here, and on click action we had the offset, and we get the offset, and from annotated text we get string annotations from the task and start offset and end offset here. So because that annotated with this one, with task we don't know, sometimes annotation is so long, hard, so we use the task here. If we recognize that from start offset to end offset, if we click in the area of here, we will recognize that we click on that, and we will get that information if it had a value or none. If it had a value, it will go here. If it's none, that means we click outside that text, and it won't print the value of annotation outside. It won't, because it click outside. If click inside, it will print. So we can see here in the logcat, you can see if it's more click here. In your case, you want to implement some different kind of text for the email or for font, you can put there. That's it for clickable text, and how we use the text our flows in the Jetpack Compose. I just use this one again. And example, I need to close this now. And then I use this one a little bit too long, and I use the mask line. The two. So, and then I use text overflow. So that will be clipped, and because it just mask two lines, you can see on the screen. Just review, make it bigger, very easy to observe. That's it. Just click, just remove, and original text it can be selected too. Because I put in a selection container. I didn't do that with the text. Maybe drop that too, and now the text won't be selected. To build again, just rebuild. It just click and remove part, the end part, and now we can try with this run elite, and see how it's elite in the Android. It input 3 dots here, so that's the ellipse. So you can see different styles, different use the text in the Jetpack Compose, but the most important here, you need to know how to use be annotated to customize string and some clickable parts of that text is so important for your text, and you know how to display different colors and how you handle different parts with selection and with parts visible selection over this video. I hope you guys like the videos. If you guys like the videos, and just share with your friends to study together. So keep watch and subscribe my channel to see the new video. Thank you for your time. Bye.